Hi guys, my name is Damien. Welcome to Irish Fido. As you can see, I have a special guest today, Charlie. Thank you very much for coming.
How's it going?
Not too bad, not too bad. Charlie, you're a youth world champion, is that right?
Yeah, I am from Slovenia in August 2022.
Last year.
Yeah,
Very
last year.
good, very good. Can you tell us maybe a few words about the venue? What type of venue was it?
Well, it was called the River Sava. It was a slow flowing river, hardly any flow. It
Right,
basically didn't flow at all.
right.
It was just a steady river, but during the day you kind of got a bit more tow, but it wasn't.
And what type of fish you were kind of like a targeting over there?
The main species, which was what we were all going for, was the bream and the carasio, the big fish.
Right, right,
There was lots of bleak there, vimba. It's a bit like a roach,
right. Okay,
and they have like a folded mouth. So
that's right. Yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
And you had a training there. Was that right? It was a
Yeah.
4 or 5 day
We
training.
had 5 days practice.
Right,
Monday to Friday was the practice.
right. Okay. And was there many sections there?
There was 14 boxes.
14 boxes.
teams fishing. Yeah.
Right, right. Okay. And what about the? Was a 2 day match? Was it?
It was a 2-day final match. Yeah.
Right.
5 days practice, 2 days match.
Right. Okay. Okay. Very nice. Very nice. Congratulations anyway. Once
Cheers,
again.
Thanks very much.
We're very proud of you winning a title, world champion.
Yeah,
That's a big
first,
thing.
First biggest achievement.
Yeah, and you're a very young man, so
Yeah.
I'm sure there's still more to come anyway.
Yeah, hopefully.
That's for sure.
the goal.
That's for sure.
That's the goal.
That's for sure. So yeah, now we can move on, and we might just go for a. I just want you to show us like how do you prepare your groundbait and stuff like
I
that.
haven't mixed it yet, so.
Right,
Yeah,
right,
that's
okay.
perfect.
Let's go.
See that?
Right, so Charlie, what have you got in here?
So today, ground mix today is just simply a bag of Sonia Bates So Natural Black, and then I'm gonna mix half a bag of sweet skimmer with that just to give it a bit of flavour and a bit of.
Right, and what type of flavour is that? That must be a caramel.
It's
or
like
something,
caramel.
Is that right?
Smell it, yeah, it's lovely. Open this one, please. Lovely,
It's lovely,
caramel
very
smell,
sweet,
yeah.
isn't it? I never used that
Yeah.
before.
And that's like the base mix. That's me
Right.
winter go-to mix, especially for skimmers. We're targeting skimmers today, so.
There's some coriander. I think it
Coriander,
is, isn't
yeah,
it?
yeah. It's just a good all-round. It's a sticky enough
All-round mix.
ground bait, yeah.
Right. Okay. And how would you
So,
mix that?
What I do, especially this time of year, as you can see, it's freezing, it's cold, it's
That's
the
right.
fish aren't feeding that much. So what I do is I sieve out my ground bait with a flour sieve,
Right.
just
Right.
to make it fine.
I
so
know.
there's not much feed in the
I
ground
do.
bait.
I do exactly the same,
Yeah.
but I use like 2 mil sieve.
Yeah,
You could do that, you know,
Yeah.
like
I think it's 1 mil. Really fine. I like it in the winter. Sieve it all out, and you'll see now all the particles that are left.
like the big particles. You
Yeah.
don't want that in your winter
No,
mix.
you definitely don't want
That's right. Yeah.
that. What I'll do is I'll throw it in a bucket. I'll keep it for the summer.
Right.
Add more. You won't add more feed in the summer. So
That's right. That's
you
right.
can see there. There's loads of big bits.
That's
of stuff.
correct.
That'll just overfeed the fish.
That's true.
When you add water to it, it'll just expand.
Expand. That's right.
It'll be
Yeah.
no good. But I'll keep that though for the summer. So what I do is I mix a whole bag of black,
Would it be the whole bag? Is that right?
a whole bag of black,
Right.
yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
And a half bag
half
of
a bag of sweet skimmer.
skimmer.
It's
Right.
very rich.
So 2 part of natural, and then
Yeah.
a part of
Squeeze skimmer.
squid skimmer.
I'm not that accurate. I just guess it, if you know what I mean.
Oh yeah, oh yeah.
I just.
And tell
roughly
me,
go with it.
would you use leam this time of the year?
Yes, very
And-
very important.
Right.
That again just keeps the feed content out. Again, but also puts a little bit of a cloud in the water.
Cloud in the water. I was
I'll
going
go
to
through-
say that.
I'll
Yeah.
go through the lean next,
Right.
but I think it's vital to sieve out your groundbait in the winter. Lovely smell off that groundbait.
It is nice. I
Yeah.
have to say it is nice. I never use it, but
Yeah,
it is nice.
good stuff now. That's that, and then straight on top of that, half a bag of sweet skimmer.
Sweet skimmer.
See, there's a lot more bigger particles.
It's
in
bigger
this.
particles in it,
Yeah,
isn't it?
and it's not as black.
It's not as black, it's right, yeah.
So that's around. It's about half a bag. And I can keep that then for my next session and keep me going again.
Very good.
You see, the particles now will be completely different to the particles that are in the black.
That's right, yeah, that's right.
You have a lot more
A lot more
like
bigger particle in
bigger
this,
bits
like
of crumb and maize.
chrome
and,
maize, that's right. A lot of
But
maize,
that's-
isn't it?
Yeah, lots of little bits of maize. That'll be very good for the summer.
That's right.
I'll keep that for the summer.
I'll do exactly the same.
Yeah.
I'll keep it in the bag and have it for the summer, like.
What I do, throw that in there, whisk it around.
Mix it dry
Right.
together, yeah.
Yeah. And you have a nice fine just flour basically.
That's right, yeah.
Very dry flour.
That's right. There's not much food
No.
in it. Like
Nothing.
that's what you want in
That's
the
it,
winter,
yeah.
yeah. Not to overfeed
Exactly
them,
how I have
because of course the fish would eat the groundbait
Yeah.
too, you know.
Yeah.
That's right.
And then just add me water to it then.
And how would you do that? Would you overwet your groundbait at the
I
start,
don't
or
overwet it. I like to mix it fairly dry, me, because
Right.
it's just I like it for like in the winter. Like I think making more of a cloud and pulling fish into your swim works better.
it works better?
Yeah,
Right.
so I like it fairly dry. I know a lot of people overwet it, but I like to add water through the day, like with it atomizer to show you later
Right,
on.
right.
That's very dry.
And do you think we need more water after maybe 20 minutes or something?
Yeah, I leave it stand for about 20 minutes. But
Right.
in the meantime, I'll show you the leam and how I prepare that.
And the smell of that,
smell.
it's very nice, isn't
Very,
it?
very nice. I like it, so just binds together, so that's about perfect for me.
Right, so we're going to leave that for
Just gonna
about
leave
20
that now.
minutes or something,
Yeah.
is that right?
Yeah, about 15-20 minutes.
Right. And then are you gonna add leam now, or are you
I add
gonna
it
wait
during the session.
during the session?
Yeah.
Right, okay.
So,
And what's the difference in between your winter mix and a summer mix?
well, the summer mix, there'll be a lot more of it. I leave the particles in. I maybe
Right.
might do a bit of a lighter mix,
Right, okay.
just so it
And
stands out a bit more.
would you use leam in the summertime?
Depends. If I'm fishing
depends.
rivers and deep water, I like leam.
Right,
Just to get
okay.
it down and keep it on the bottom.
That's right, that's right.
But in the winter, I use leam for virtually everything, any type of fishing.
Right,
So the leam, I just get a pinky sieve,
right.
yeah, and then I just mix 3 pots. I think they're, what mil they are? 250 mil, I think.
250 mil or something, yeah.
Yeah.
So 3 of them.
Yeah, 3 of them. That'll do me for the day.
Right,
It's important to sieve it because there's loads of lumps in it.
right.
So this is just a damp black leam.
Damp black leam, yeah.
Sieve that through.
That's right. You can see it now. Is big lumps in there,
lumps,
isn't it?
Yeah. Because it's a damp leam, it sticks together in clumps.
Mm.
So I think it's very important to keep it going through the sieve. And that just goes.
Very good.
But that's all I do for the lean for the time being until the groundbait's ready. Just a nice.
And we don't have to really
Fine.
wet that because
No,
it's already
it's a damp lean.
damp leam. Yeah, that's
But what
right.
happens is when you mix it with your groundbait, the lean loves taking on water.
Water,
So
right,
that'll probably dry out the groundbait.
right,
But that's where I'll show you with the atomizer.
right,
You have to keep it water going in it fairly often.
right.
because it dries out the whole time, and you just got to keep it going on it.
Very good.
That's basically my ground bait preparation for a session.
Right, okay.
And then later on in the stream,
It's probably dry now, isn't it?
yeah, it's not too bad now.
But we might just leave it for another 10 minutes.
Yeah, probably just to give it a few minutes. Yeah.
Right, okay, and we come back to
Yeah,
it and put some more water in it.
Yeah.
Right. Okay, that's grand. Thank you
Yeah.
very much for that, Charlie.
No bother.
And we might just move on, and I ask you to show us what type of gear that you
Yeah.
use. Is that all right? Yeah.
That's 100%.
Lovely job. Thank you.
Yeah. So, my setup for today is simple. It's just an 11-foot SL, Superior SL. That's matched with a 520 extremity, loaded with 010 absolute feeder rate. And then the tip I have in, I've got a 1/4 ounce glass tip in, so I can see every bite today, because I'm expecting bites to be really small.
It's very sensitive, isn't it?
Very sensitive, yeah. Then that comes down to a metre of 10 pound 028 sinking feeder mono, pressed and stuff, good and robust. And down to that then, I've got a double barrel swivel on a simple free running rig, so it can go up and down, whatever. That's where I clip my feeder onto it. And then I have a size 8 stot. I like that because I find like float stops move, and it's just a personal preference really. I don't think it makes much of a difference. And then under that then I've got 5 inches of twizzle boom with just a loop on the end, and I just use a loop to loop connection with my hook link.
So you wouldn't use like a feeder links or anything like that on your rig? No.
I just use my feeder link. It's a long swivel, it's a double barrel one. So it's a slightly longer swivel than a standard one, which is, I don't know, it's just my personal preference, my confidence, what I've used for the last
And would that be your favourite rig, or would you use any?
That'd be my favourite rig for, it does everything basically.
Right. And it's a free running rig, as you said.
Yeah, because in the World Champs you have to use free
You
running
have to
rigs,
use, yeah.
So it's the one I just use all the time. Like, if I had a personal preference on a rig that I could use all the time, it would be a helicopter rig.
Helicopter rig.
Because it's just tangle free.
That's what I like. That's what I like. That's what I fish mostly on the helicopter rig. Yeah.
I like the helicopter rig myself, but I have to practice with them because with a free run
That's
rig,
the rules.
because that's the rules.
There's
And
nothing
then-
we can do with that.
No. And then my other rod, that rod today is going to be fishing between 25 and 35 metres.
Right.
And then this other rod, slightly beefed up one for my longer line. I'm hoping to be fishing around 40-45 metres. So this rod is an 11'4" Ascension, a 3.4 metre one. It's a lovely soft, it's a good strong rod, but it has a really soft top end on it.
Yeah, I can see that.
Yeah, very, very soft. I like that. That has a 520 extremity again. This one has 012 feeder braid, just because you're fishing that bit further, a bit more snags, all that sort of stuff. That then comes down to a 3/4 ounce carbon tip. Fairly sensitive for a 45-50 metre line. It's fairly light that. And then exactly the same leader again. It's a metre of 010 or 028. It's the exact same setup.
So it's exactly the same rig.
Double barrel, a stot,
Right.
and a 5-inch twizzle
Twizzle
boom with a loop on the end for the loop to the hook link.
Right. So you don't use any quick change baits for your hookland or anything like that. No.
No, I just loop to loop.
Yeah, more stuff you have in your line,
Yeah,
more tangle you
the
get.
rest tangle.
Isn't that right? Yeah.
And what I find too, if you had a swivel on there, that's an extra 5 inches
That's right.
of slow sinking. Because in the World Champs, your minimum hook length has to be 500 mil from the bottom of your feeder.
So that's 50 centimetre.
50
yeah.
centimetres.
That's right.
So I think that extra 5 inches gives you the extra 5 inches of fall. Just maybe it might make a big difference, but it's all them little things. You know yourself through fishing.
That's
And
right.
Just a nice extra bit of slow fall.
Right.
But that's my setup.
And what type of hooklands will we use today?
Hook links today, I'll have N20s, the Preston N20s, just so simple, on 014 AccuPower. This one here is a 16, but it's an N20 hook. I'll show you it a bit more up close now. hooking off. I always start on a metre hook link in the winter as well, because it just gives you options and you can shorten it then if you need to.
That's right. I'll be doing the same, like 90 on 1 metre, 90 centimetre, 1 metre hook length.
That's what I start on, a metre about 14. And a size 14, that is.
That's N20, yeah. Preston.
Yeah.
They're very good hooks,
Yeah, very good hooks. Stay sharp.
I use them as well, yeah.
And then in the summer, then I'd be going to N30s, even N50s on the Earn. Big, strong hook. But all I carry in the winter is just one box. The way I look in the winter is you got to keep things simple. You got to scale everything down. You got to just think about things a bit more, and you got to think about what you're doing so you don't overfeed the fish.
Exactly.
Stuff like that, because if you overfeed the fish at the start of the day, then that's your day gone.
That's right. You can ruin your day, and then that's it. Yeah.
Yeah. So that's that. And then feeders for today. Just a simple couple of feeders. I'll be using little window feeders. Something like that today on the long line. I'm fishing deep water today, so 45 grams.
They're small, or the medium size.
That's the medium size Preston one, and the solid version. Going for
because
skimmers,
it's deep.
want everything on the bottom. I just don't want anything coming off if I can. I'll be compacting that ground bit in fairly hard just to get it down. That's that feeder for the long line. That's probably what I'll be sticking on all day. In the short line, I'll be making a bit more of a cloud, so I'm fishing in slightly shallower water. So I'm going to be fishing with a 20 gram caged version.
Caged
small. So it'll just let a bit more off it. It's more of a line for targeting anything. That short line, it's more for roach, maybe small skimmers, perch, anything that swims really. That just give me options. They're my two go-to feeders for skimmer fishing in the winter. So
right, Charlie, so what's the next step?
I've left that now for 20 minutes. As you can see, it's very dry.
Very dry, yeah, it is, yeah.
You can hardly squeeze it together. So what I'll do is I like it fairly dry, but I don't want it that dry, if you know what I mean.
It's too dry,
yeah.
That's right,
So I just add a small little pinch of water. Probably that much, maybe might be a bit more.
I like the smell of that mix.
It's lovely, isn't it?
Yeah.
Sweet skimmer. It's
it
lovely
is.
ground bait. So
I have to try that.
That's about my consistency, how I like it now.
Right.
I know it's very dry still, but I like that because
it breaks down easier in the water, is that right?
But what I like about it is if it's too wet, then you can't go back to dry, if you know what I mean.
Right, yeah.
But I like it dry, so I can just consist the water differently.
That's right, yeah. That's a good idea, yeah.
So what I do now, the whole thing, I just pour into here.
And you're going to push it through
the riddle. Yeah.
And is that 3mm riddle, is it?
That's a maggot riddle. I think that's a 4mm riddle.
4mm, is
4mm,
it?
yeah.
Right, okay. Yeah, there's always some lumps.
Yeah, that just stick
we
together.
don't want that as well. Like,
yeah. Especially in the summer mixes, you get a lot more lumps.
That's right.
Because like the bits of maize and stuff like that, they expand when the water hits them. But as you can see, because it's so dry, it's so easy to push through the riddle. And then the next step is adding leam. So
you're going to add all that leam you have there into your mix?
No, what I'll do is I'll leave. I get a tub, or I could use this as a boot. I get a tub like that, and my starting mix everywhere is 3 of them.
3 of them.
3 of them in ground bait. To 2 lean.
Right. Okay.
So it's very lean based too. So that fine lean that we riddled off earlier.
So 3 parts of the ground bait and 2 parts of lean.
2 parts of the lean.
Right.
So it darkens it down, and it makes it heavier and stickier and cloudier. So just like that.
And tell me, are you going to push that through the riddle again, or just leave it like
that? No,
that?
Should be alright now.
Okay.
But what I will have to mess about with during the day is getting the consistency right.
Right.
Because the lean, it will dry the ground bait out.
Dry the ground bait, so you might have to put more water.
More water.
In it.
But I introduced that with an atomizer, because if you start adding water behind, it makes the lean clumpy.
Right. Okay.
So what you have to do is, I'll show you now, because you add water through it, and you mix it at the same time you add water through it, so it doesn't start clumping up.
That's right, yeah.
You know what I mean?
So it is good to have one of these yokes.
Yeah, it's a must.
It's a handy stuff.
It's a must when using lean.
Very good.
So that's that. That's my ground bit mix.
Very
fine,
good.
fine,
Very good.
lovely smelling mix.
Well,
That's that.
okay.
So all I do then, I pour it into a bowl. And that's it. Start me off for the day.
And that's it. Right, okay. And what about the lean that's left
The
over
lean,
there?
that's just a spare in case I need to make more.
Right.
If it's a good day, then I'll leave more ground bait.
Okay.
And I'll leave more lean.
All right, okay. So that's the plan
Yeah,
anyway.
that's the plan. Hopefully I'll be going back to this. So we're catching a few.
That's it.
Yeah, so that's that.
That's grand job.
Yep. So plumbing up. This winter I found to myself that a count of 7 is what I'm looking for. Count of 6, count of 7, that kind of area. So I always use a 45 gram bomb, an ounce and a half. So we'll just clip it on. And because this is a lake I've fished previously, I kind of know the areas where the depths are. So I'm kind of looking for that 25 to 30 metre range. So stopwatch, have to have a stopwatch on plumb up.
It's very important, isn't it?
Yeah, for accuracy. So from my past experiences, aiming at the edge of the garage or the edge of the house seems to be the best. So we'll go to the edge of the house first. So around 30 metres, click the stopwatch. Wait till it hits the bottom. So I've got a count of 7.1 there, count of 7, so that's bang on. So what I'll do then is I'll check the bottom. So it's I'm fishing for skimmers, so we like a nice either a gravelly bottom or a nice smooth bottom. So as you can see there, it's a bit of a muddy, kind of sticky bottom. So what I do is I just have a chuck around now, 2 or 3 chucks around, just to try and find a clear area. Then again, I'll aim to different parts of my swim, so I'm going to the other end of the garage now. So stopwatch again. So turn to 7 again, exact same as expected. Drag it around, smooth there again. So I'll probably just have one more chuck on this, just to make sure that I'm fishing in the right area. So back to the same spot where I found that first count, edge of the house. Yep, 7 seconds again, so I'm happy there. Nice flat bottom. That flew me for that line.
So that is your short line.
That's my short line, yeah. But what I'll do now is I'll go over to the sticks after this and get the exact length. For now we'll get the long line. I'll pick up my bigger rod again. Exact same bomb. Get it untangled. 45 gram bomb again. So I'm looking for a count of between 10 and 12 on this line. Go a bit deeper.
It is very important to find a deeper
Find a
part of the
deep,
lake in the
clear
winter
area,
time, isn't
yeah.
there?
Yeah.
That's right, yeah.
So that's about 40 metres. Yeah, about 40 metres. So we're kind of 10 there, so we're not far off. But from past experiences, I know it can go a bit deeper, so I'll go another little bit further and just see, can I get a count of 12, count of 11, count of 12, that kind of area. That's the aim anyway. Stop what you're ready. Very deep. There we go, 10.3 again.
That's quite deep, isn't it?
Yeah.
And what you reckon, like, what's the depth in there?
I'd say that's 20 foot, 22 foot.
22 or something like that, yeah.
Yeah.
That's good enough for winter, isn't it?
Yeah, it's good enough for it'll do me for today, because I don't like to fish in the same depths, if you know what I mean, on the two lines.
Right.
If I can find two different depths, I feel more confident. So the fish, in my way, they're either in one depth or another. If you fish in a count of 7 twice, then you're not giving yourself much options. So I've done 2 different counts, count of 10 and a count of 7, that give me options. And
Bit shallow water and then
shallow,
deeper.
deep water, yeah.
And that's what you do every time you go for fishing. You set up 2 lines, is that right?
And then during the day you can decide and dictate what line they're on. So that's that for plumbing up.
That's grand. So we can move on and start fishing. So
Yeah, well.
we go to measuring sticks first.
First, yeah.
Grand job.
So my next step is to go over the sticks and to get me distance. So what I do, a big feeder, start on the left. So my sticks are 3 meters apart. Because I'm bad at maths, I have to count in 3. So I go 3, 6, 9, 12, 15, 18, 21, 24, 24, 25, 26. So I'm about just over 26 meters there. So what I do is I just get me a little ring on my sticks and ring it over to where I'm going. So 26 meters, about 26 and a half meters I'm fishing.
So that's the short line.
That's my short line, yeah.
And it is very important to rather have measuring them in the sticks or count the tons, or just in case something happens.
Yeah, if you crack it off or you snag up or something like that, I think it's important. I think turns aren't accurate enough for me. I much prefer using sticks.
Well, that's much better for sure.
Yeah.
The sticks are much better, yeah.
Yeah, far more accurate. I'm fishing 26 and a half meters on my short line. And my long line. This is the same again. One time with the rod. Same again. Feeder on. So 3, 6, 9, 12, 15, 18, 21, 24, 27, 30, 33, 36, 39, 39. So from that there, 40 meters exactly. So I'll bring that stick down, or the little peg down to that. So I have my little black line there where is each meter part of it. Black line at a meter, another black line at a meter. So.
And is it two of them on the line there? Is that right?
2 of them, yeah.
2 of these markers or whatever they call it.
Yeah, that black line there is a meter from there. They're all just a meter apart from each other. So.
Right.
I'm fishing bang on 40 meters there.
40 meters.
For my long line.
40 meters on the long line.
Yeah.
That's perfect, yeah. Well, that's very good, Charlie. So, are we ready to start fishing?
Yeah, let's get going.
That's grand job. Right, Charlie, so if you could show us what you have in here.
Simple bait tray today. So I just got fluoro pinkies, dead fluoro pinkies, which I just froze. Be feeding them through the feeder. I've got a few dead red maggots, just to be putting through the feeder too. I've got a few live red pinkies. That's for hook bait and something moving. In here then I've just got floating maggots. So floating maggots will sink a lot slower and it'll just give the fish more reaction time to go for the bait.
It is important to have them in the winter, isn't it?
Yeah. And then all I have then is just a few worms, just in case. I wouldn't be a big fan of worm in the winter, but because we're going for skimmers then we might need it, so I have to just in case. Little bit of worm with the hook is it's always a good hook bait. So that's simply it.
Right, so very simple as you can see.
Yeah, nice and simple. And then the ground bait, it's the same mix as earlier, but as you can see it's gone very, very dry now. So
you have to add some more water.
So I have to add a little bit of water. So I got my atomizer here. I have it on and I just light setting. So as I'm mixing it through, I'm just throwing water at the same time. It won't take much. Just like that. That's how I'd start today anyway.
Well, that's much better now,
Just
yeah.
a lot, not as dry. Still fairly dry, but not that dry. You know what I mean? You can still make a ball and it still breaks down nice and easy.
Very good.
But that's how I'd start my session.
Okie doke. So I'd say we can move on and start fishing, finally.
Yeah.
Right job.
Starting that feeder I showed you earlier. It's just a 30 gram small feeder. Has to be hook length. I'm going to start on a size 14. Get it off. Size 14. This is the short line rod now, so all I do for putting it on is
just loop to loop, is that
yeah,
right?
put the hook through the line, through the little loop at the bottom, pull it through, and then clip it on, push it back through the loop of the hook link. It should just all pull together.
Very simple, yeah.
Yeah, it's just very fiddly. Yeah, it all just pulls down. It's a nice tight fit.
And that's 1 meter hook length, is it?
Yeah, a 1 meter hook length to start on.
Right. That's bang on.
Yeah, so I'm start feeding now. So I'm just going to start with feeding 3 maggots and 4 pinkies, 4 fluoro pinkies. Nice and simple. I'm going to feed 4 feederfuls like that on my long 40 metre line.
Before you start fishing?
Before I start fishing, yeah.
Right, okay.
Compact it in fairly well. Aim it from far back marker. Hit the bottom. And while that's sinking, I'll just fill up again. So 3 dead red maggots, 4 pinkies. I'm just going to do that 4 times.
So that's your long line, is that right?
Long line, yeah, 40 metres.
So you do that first, and then you're going to start fishing on a short line?
Start fishing on the short line, yeah.
Right, okay.
The short line, I'm just going to feed 1 maggot, 2 pinkies. Keep very, very negative today.
Yeah, you don't want to put too much in it, because you can only ruin your peg. And
I'm looking to be casting a little bit more regular on that short line, so put a lot less in. So I'll probably leave that long line now for at least an hour or 2, depending on how the fishing's going. Short. That needs to hopefully leave it for an hour or 2. So I'm just going to start on just a single red maggot on that size 14. Just hook through the fat end. Plug down a couple of pinkies. I'm going to start doing 1 minute cast, but I'm going to butt rest it. The bites are very small. I want to be able to see everything, so butt rest it, keep it good and stable for me. Hopefully we get indications fairly soon.
would you use your stopwatch? Just
Stopwatch all the time.
stopwatch all the time, yeah.
For accuracy reasons, so I can see how regular I'm casting and just the average time it takes to get a bite. So keep that bait on.
Sometimes needs a bit of time just to drag those fish,
Yeah.
especially in the winter.
Yeah, especially winter. Fish are a lot slower, and with that little bit of regular bait going in, hopefully entice a couple to feed them. It can take up to 2 hours sometimes to get a bite on some places
That's right,
in
yeah.
the winter, but you can get good then after that. Sometimes you could land on them and it could be straight away. Get bites first and second show.
We could see a few fish topping here in the morning, so we're hoping to get some fish today.
Hopefully. Good sign anyway.
Good sign is right, yeah.
I'm just fishing that 1/4 ounce glass tip and I'm fishing it really flat, just so I can see every little bit of an indication or movement. Bring it up again. So after probably
That's 1 minute gone again.
Yeah, so after probably 4 to 5 1-minute casts, I'll start doing increasing it, so give it a bit more time. Now when you get a bit of bait in, start letting the peg settle a bit. So I'll probably up it to 2-3 minutes, something like that. Something
Right,
2 to
okay.
3 minutes.
And if you still won't get a bite, would you
I'll
go?
up it again then,
Right, okay.
if I'm not getting any bites. Then it's just trying to hook baits, and what I'll try this cast is I'll try single maggot and I'll try single fluoro pinky. Bit of colour.
Bit of colour, yeah.
In the winter, and especially skimmer fishing, I like to use a butt rest, so it just keeps everything hand free. So because when you skimmer fish, you seem to get a lot more line bites, you seem to get just indications that you shouldn't hit, and sometimes when you strike at them little indications, you miss it, and you could abdicate spooking your fish. So butt rest is vital for me in the winter.
I thought it'd be a lot easier, to be honest, when I seen those fish topping,
Yeah,
but
tricky.
that's what it is. It's a winter time, so
Hopefully soon we'll get some sort of a sight.
we should do.
So after this cast now, I'll probably up it to probably 3-minute casts. Just give it more time to settle, and if any skimmers coming in.
So it'll be 3 minutes now.
Only 3-minute cast, yeah. Unless we get a bite before it, hopefully.
Right, so we're fishing for about 20-25 minutes, Charlie.
Yeah, just got my first fish.
And that's the first fish.
Only a small fish, I think. Small skimmer. Small skimmer. Or a hybrid.
That's a hybrid, is it?
Yeah, it's a small hybrid. We'll start today.
Not bad.
That was caught on double maggot.
And that was on the long line. We
That
had
was
to
on the long
switch the line, didn't it?
Yeah, we have to go on it fairly early. It was fairly quiet on that short line, so
But they might come later on.
yeah, hopefully now they might pull in. That was just on double maggot, so I hook one through the fat end and then one through the thin end at the top, just like that. See that there?
Yeah.
One through the fat end, one through the thin end. And then I'm still just feeding 2 maggots and 3 or 4 pinkies on that long line. Still on that fairly big feeder, the medium size western window, but I might have to scale that down soon if I'm catching fish fairly regular. I don't want to overfeed them. That's a good sign.
Yeah, so we're fishing for about 40 minutes now, yeah.
Yeah,
And we started getting some bites on the short line.
A couple of small bites, yeah.
But I have to say, it is very slow start, isn't it?
Very slow. I think with the conditions and the weather and the frost we've had lately, I just think it's pushed the fish down a bit. And I think it's going to take a bit of work just to get them going.
That's right, that's right.
Hopefully we can get something going anyway.
Oh, the weather was crazy. We had loads of rain.
Yeah, water levels been up.
That's right. A lot of lakes was just unfishable. They were just flooded. And then we had the frost,
Yeah,
snow and everything. So Charlie, we forgot to mention that you were also in Belgium for the
FIDA World Champions.
FIDA World Champions. Yeah. How did you get on there?
For me, it was a hard week, but I learned a lot. It was my first year in the team, so it was a bit of squeaky bum time.
Right.
Because I had, like, the team we had with some of the best anglers around, and I was very nervous going into it, but I settled in, and the first day of practice was very hard. We were on D section. Very, very tricky. There wasn't many fish feed. I had 2 bites, I think I had all day. I missed both of them.
Right. And what type of venue was that? Was that a big lock or something?
It was a deep reservoir, but the thing was the depths varied the whole time.
Right.
Some pegs could have a count of 5, and the next peg could be a count of 12. Like.
Dude, that's a big
It
difference.
was just like that, and the snags, big boulders, everything.
Right.
It was a really challenging venue to master. But
And same again, you had a 5-day practice.
5 days practice, yeah, Monday to Friday, and the match was on Saturday and Sunday.
So 2-day match.
2-day match, yeah.
Right.
And then the match days, I drew a middleish kind of area on the first day. We had a few fish there the day before. That was where we practiced on the last day, and our plan was to catch short, really short, catching these fish called gobies,
Right.
asp, and then roach, just tiny little fish,
Right,
just to
okay.
keep fish going in there. And I started out, had a really good first hour at 65 fish, and then all of a sudden people started rocking up behind me, and that was it. I was catching from here to there, just under arm of them.
Also, they were very close.
Very, very close, just getting little tiny bites, but
Right.
really shallow. And when the people moved in then after seeing the board,
And they
it
spooked the
just
shoal.
spooked the shoal and just couldn't get any fish, so I struggled for the rest of the day. I fished long, me long line that day was 60 metres. I had a count of 17 on a 45 gram bob.
That's deep enough.
Very deep.
That's very deep.
Yeah. The thing was, there's big dredgers and they dig the bottom up and get
Right.
sand and gravel and stuff, so that's why it was so deep, because they've just dug the bottom. And I fished that line most of the day, and I've had 2 skimmers on it, and I've missed a couple of bites, and I've caught a couple of gobies on my 40 metre line, and I've caught a couple of roach, a couple of bits. I've had 3 kilo something, 3 kilo 500 something like that for
And
14th in my section.
14th out of.
28.
All right.
So it was middling.
Middle, yeah.
But I thought I definitely could have caught more that day, definitely. But I just didn't do it.
But sure, that's good experience, like for
Great
you for the
experience,
future
yeah.
anyway, you know.
I learned lots.
That's the main
Great.
thing, yeah.
Then the second day I drew E section. Michael Buckwilder was on it the day before. He drew, I can't remember what peg he was. I think he was 7, E7, and E section was just Gobi City, we called it. It was just, you're fishing for small, tiny little fish.
Right.
They average from about 5 to 10 grams each.
They were very small.
Very small. My plan was, and the team plan to start was, start at 40 metres, try and get a couple of slightly better fish. But I say slightly better fish, I mean like 3 to 4 ounce roach.
Right.
That was a big fish on that section. So I've started out there, and I've had 3 roach in the first 20 minutes, and that was very good, because fishing was really tough, and it was snaggy, and it was lots of weed. It was just not a nice place to fish. That's
All right.
And I've come in then on my goby line fishing 18 metres, and I've caught 168 fish and I weighed 1.6 kg. 1.6 kg I weighed.
Oh, be Jesus.
The fish are really small. That got me 8th in my section that day, so I was happy with that result, to be fair.
Very
I
good.
don't think I could have done much more from the peg I was on. The pegs further down to the end, there was very odd bream showing, but like, you got a bream, it's game over. You've won the section.
Oh, Jesus.
2 kilo won the section, I think, something like that. 2.5 kilo. Great week though. I learned endless amounts of stuff, and great bunch of lads we were away then. Jesus.
That's what it's all about, isn't
Yeah,
it?
it's all experience, and ready now for Serbia this year. We're going to Serbia in July.
In July, is it?
Yeah, for the champs, FIDA World Champs. I'm looking forward to that.
Very good.
Yeah. Hopefully.
And what about the, you also fished the Feeder King, which was here in Ireland.
Yeah, the Feeder King. Yeah.
And you came up second, as far as I know.
Second, yeah.
That was
Well,
very good result.
Yeah, it was good enough now for me first year. I wasn't expecting it, but I qualified from the Urn. I was
Right.
on Ely Lodge on peg 16, so good peg.
Good
but
peg, yeah.
Very good peg, but you need the luck in this game.
Oh, you need the luck, that's right,
you
yeah.
need luck. So first hour and a half I haven't had a bite, and then all of a sudden I was half asleep, tip went like that, and I missed the bite. Jesus. So cast out again, tip set again, and woof, and a 3 pound hybrid. And from then on, it just went like that. It was solid.
It's solid.
It was just solid. And I've had big lumps of roach. Some of them probably tipping £1.5.
That's what you need, isn't it?
Yeah. And I've had 86 fish for 27 kilo.
Jesus.
Yeah.
That
Won
was
the match.
great.
That's where I qualified from.
So you smashed the section.
It was very tight actually.
Oh, really?
Jacko beside me, he had 26, a high 26. He fished a little bit shorter all day.
Right.
But what was happening was you'd be getting the good stamp roach, and then all of a sudden you get a big hybrid out of the blue.
All right.
So the big hybrids were a bonus, big bonus. So that's what just done me. He had 106, 107 fish, I think.
Not
So a
bad.
lot more fish than me. But my fish were slightly bigger because I fished 65 metres, I think I fished that day.
Bit longer, yeah.
Yeah, he was in it 40, 45, I think.
And the final was at Sealand.
the final
Two-day final, was it?
Locksillen, yeah. First day I drew, where did I draw? I drew peg 5 on the caravan park. So I was just fishing for lots of small roach and perch and whatever I could catch. And
Right.
I basically fished 20 metres all day,
All day.
200 and something fish, 9 kilo. I was third or fourth in the section.
Right.
I was like, I still have a chance, but I'd have to be fierce lucky. Like,
You're still in the game, like, yeah.
I still have a chance, but
Yeah.
it's a long shot. So I went home that night and I was praying and sleeping on the other end pegs, pegs 11, 12, that kind of area. There's a lot more roach coming out of there. It's a steadier weight.
Right.
So I was going for them in my head. When I got to the draw, done the draw, and I threw the complete opposite end. Like, oh no, this isn't going to be great. So Tony
You're on the
struggled
deep end.
Yeah, the deep end.
Right.
Tony struggled off peg 1 the day before. Tony is 7 kilo, and for Tony to get 7 kilo now, he's a great angler. And
Is, yeah, that's for sure.
yeah. So I've fished at. My plan was to fish for 5 to 6 kilo of bits, whatever I could catch.
Right.
Little roach, maybe odd skimmer or whatever. There are 2 lines. It was a 15 and a 30 metre line, very deep. And I seen Tommy Dowd after the first hour. He had like 2 or 3 skimmers and 3 chucks, just one after the other. I was like, ooh, that looks good. So I just unclipped, went out another 10 metres. I've started fishing, and after about 3 chucks I've caught a skimmer. I was like, geez, this could be good. So kept fishing. It's just got better and better throughout the day, and I've had 2 proper bream. coming to the end of the match. Really nice bream. And I've had 15,700 I think I had. And I won the match.
You won the match that day?
Won the match that day, yeah.
Right.
Luckily, I don't know how.
Very good.
Yeah, 15 kilo, won the match. And luckily, it's given me total weight of 25 something. Can't remember, 25 something, and it's brought me second, which is really
But you were
happy.
very close to Roberta's, which was first.
Yeah, 520 grams.
Well, that's nothing, like,
Yeah.
you know, in 2 days match.
Another one of them skimmers I was catching.
Yeah, just one
Maybe
more
two.
skimmer or something.
Yeah. But fair play to Roberto, he's a great angler too. He's
That's
very,
right.
very
yeah.
close now.
Very close to him. So yeah, that's very good.
Yeah.
You had a great year, I'd have to say.
I've had a really good year, to be fair.
Yeah, very good.
It's been a year. Hopefully this year can be as good, if not better. Hopefully.
Fingers crossed, anyway.
Yeah.
Charlie, we're fishing short line, is that right?
Yeah, we're on a short line at the moment, 26 metres, 26 and a half metres.
It's hard to get a bite, isn't it?
Very, very hard. It's just, I think it's the weather, to be honest.
Probably is, yeah.
What I've ended up doing, I've shortened my hook line because I missed a couple of bites. And
So what's that, 60 centimetre now?
70.
70,
around
right.
70, yeah. And I'm just fishing 2 pinkies on the hook now. 2 floral pinkies. Just try 3 this just to see.
Shall we try that short line for another maybe 5 or 10 minutes?
Yeah,
and then we try the long line?
Yeah, I'll give it a go and see.
We'll see what happens, yeah?
Yep.
Fingers crossed. So all we're getting is just odd fish.
Very odd fish at the moment, yeah. Just
And-
lost one then coming in, a nice roach again.
And you're not putting any maggots or anything like
No,
that
I'm
into
just
your feed?
feeding pure groundbait now.
Just groundbait, yeah.
There's nothing there to feed, so there's no point in
No point to,
keeping the
yeah,
feed going in, if you know what I mean.
that's right, yeah.
If I was getting a few, I might start introducing a bit of bait, but
Mm.
for the time being, I'm just going to feed that groundbait and lean mix. Yeah. I think there's one on.
Is there fish on, is it?
I think so, little tiny one, it's a one in perch. Is it heavy? Yeah. Jesus.
It's very small.
Stamp of the day, that. Didn't even get a bite. Definitely think 3 pinkies is better than the 2. Seems to stand out more.
It keeps away those small fish, isn't it?
Well, that's the
Well,
plan.
That's the plan, anyway.
Stopwatch, very vital to it. So you can time your gas to see when your bites are coming. So no point in leaving out for 10 minutes if you're getting a bite after 2. You know what I mean?
That's right.
Gotta
So it's
keep
good to have to
Yeah.
stop watch and you know what's going on.
Yeah. You might see a pattern starting to emerge when you get a few fish.
Mm.
Most of the bites have been fairly quick so far, after a minute max. What I'm going to do is I'm just going to cast every probably 2 minutes now. A little bit more regular just to try and a little bit more cloud through the water. Hopefully draw a few fish in.
Sounds like a plan.
Yep.
Right, so we switched the line.
Yeah, gone back out long just to see is there anything sitting and waiting out there since we've left for that 3/4 of an hour.
Yeah, that short line, it's very tricky, isn't it?
Yeah, you seem to just get one fish out of the blue every now and again.
Yeah.
You're an odd bite. It's just very weird. Hopefully there's something out on this long line for us now. It's a fish. What a fish do.
Do you reckon it's a skimmer?
I'd say that's a skimmer this time. I'll just stand up because of the snags. A few snags close in.
Is it snaggy here, is it?
Yeah, there's a few little snags. Better fish that one anyway. Oh, ignore that skimmer. Skimmer. What we're here for. That was just caught on 3 pinkies.
3 pinkies, was it?
Yeah. This is the skimmer.
Nice little skimmer, is right, yeah.
Up in the top lip.
Good to see them in the winter.
Yeah, very cold fish today.
Very cold, innit?
Yeah, they're like ice blocks then. Probably why we're not catching that many, because the water level and the water temperature is very cold.
Yeah, that's true. It's very low.
Yeah.
So same again.
Same again. 3 pinkies, 3 fluoros. That was in for about 3 minutes.
3 minutes.
Roughly. So probably give it a 5-minute cast and just see. That's 1, so hopefully now should be a few more.
Very good.
That was on the long line, 40 metres.
Right, I'm on.
So it was just a tiny little bite that cast then when I had in. Just tightened up. As expected from skimmers in the winter. I think most of the time they just pick it up and they sit there. Then they eventually decide to move off. That's when you get your little indication.
Hopefully we get some more.
Hopefully we get a few more, yeah. It's a good sign anyway. We're standing up because of all the snags. They just rub off and coming in. So a hard day like this, don't want to lose your fish.
That's right.
Try and get out. My tip is you want to try and keep them coming if you can. You don't want to stop. You want to try and keep the fish moving when you're fishing over snags. Try and bring them up as high in the water as you can, so give yourself less of a chance of losing it in the snag. And once you can see the fish go down the net. Nice skimmer. A little bit bigger than the last two. Fairly hooked. Hook came out itself. I'll show you here now. Nice skimmer.
Very good.
That's my second skimmer now. Hopefully now we can get a few more now. We're starting to move in.
Charlie, what's your advice? Let's say you're in a match situation, right?
Yeah.
And you'll be fishing for, let's say, 2-3 hours, and then the bite slowed down. What's your advice? Like, what would you do? Is there anything we could do?
What I would do is just, if you're catching fish and it starts slowing up, then change something, like change your hook bait, change your size of hook maybe, change your feeder, change your lines, your distances. Like, scaling down tends to work well when things go quiet, and scaling down, fishing like longer hook lengths, like smaller baits, and just trying to catch on the drop and stuff like that, and casting more regular with it. scale down to a smaller feeder, cast more regular.
That might bring the fish back.
Yeah, that's just putting little bits of cloud through the water the whole time. Just little small bits of feeders, a little bit of leam in it, and feeding nothing, just feeding ground bait, and just trying to make something happen the whole time.
They keep changing.
Yeah, that's my biggest thing, ring the changes.
And once again, you always use your stopwatch, just...
Stopwatch, yeah. That last skimmer, on the skimmer before, it came at like around 4 minutes.
4 minutes or so.
3.5, 4 minutes, that kind of area.
Right.
I'm on 4 minutes now, so I'll probably give another minute. And if it doesn't happen, then I'll bring it in and I'll cast again.
Cast again,
Yeah.
right. That's very smart, isn't it? Like, it gives you an idea, like...
Yeah, I don't think there's any point in sitting out there if the time, you have like a time zone of like a minute or two where you have a chance for a bite to come, and you see patterns emerging.
Oh, there was a thing, yeah, there was a bite on.
Little tiny bite. Small fish, I think. A roach or a little perch or something. Seems to be a bit more sign of life now. Seems to be getting a few fish, not big or not in any numbers, but
What's that, perch?
little perch, yeah.
So that's long line again, and it was...
long line, yeah.
And how long will you have to wait for the bite?
That came fairly quick, that last little perch, but I'm leaving it in for about 5 minutes at the moment.
Right.
Just because it's cold. Don't want to be... Well, I've put a bit of feed in now, so I don't want to be keeping casting over it the whole time. I want to kind of just let everything settle. Just hope a few skimmers try to pull in. There's nothing worse when you're skimmer fishing is casting over heads the whole time. I think you got to be just nice and patient and just wait for that one bite, one good bite.
Skimmer fishing, it is a bit different than roach fishing,
Yeah,
isn't it?
roach fishing, you could be casting every 30 seconds.
That's right, yeah.
But
Need more
skimmer-
patience for skimmers.
Skimmer fishing, you got to put a little bit of bait down first. Not loads of bait, but just a little bit of bait. And you just got to fish it out, and you got to catch a couple and work it that way. Often, especially in the summer with skimmer fishing, you get a lot of liners. You're like foul bites, and you could strike at the wrong indications. You just, especially in summer, not now, this time of year, don't get as many liners, and you're just waiting for a little. You just get a little bite of a blue usually. But in the summer, you could be getting bounces and taps and go slack and stuff.
And how
like
to
that.
recognise it's a liner or a proper bite, or
Which
how to recognise that it's a...
usually a proper bite would just go straight round, or it'll just go around nice and slow, and it'll keep round. It won't like go round and come back. Do you know?
Right,
You want to read
okay.
that way. Like a positive bite will, you know yourself. It'll just be, most of the time it's just right around. But in the winter, when the skimmers and just any fish in general, it's colder, they're moving a lot slower. So yeah, a little tiny, just tighten up. There's not enough of them coming into your swim. They're not competing for bait to give you line. You're just waiting for that one little tighten up on this. Magnifying bites on a day like this is great because it's calm and you can see everything. You can have your tip set slack, there's no toe. See everything.
It's good for filming too.
Yeah.
But it's much better when it's kind of like a rough weather, especially for skimmers, isn't it?
Yeah.
Bit of wind, bit of rain.
It's different in the winter though, do you not think?
Yeah, it will be different again.
Most of the time it's a cold wind in the winter, isn't it? And
That's right.
puts
That's
them
right.
off. I prefer in the winter for it to be calm.
Calm is right, yeah.
But in the summer, like, I think places like Garrodice and Mucknow and all them places, the heavier the wind, the better. Especially, it's better if it's coming at you.
That's right, that's right. See, the water is very clear, isn't it? So you need a bit of a cloudy, rainy day.
Yeah. 4.5 minutes now, so give another 30 seconds. Now what I'm going to do next, Chuck, I'm just going to put a little tiny bit of a worm on. Just a small, about probably 10 mil long, just on its own. Just get a worm out of here, like that. Just put a little tiny head of a worm on. Well, the tail of a worm.
Well, you didn't chop any worm, and
no, I haven't chopped any worm. I don't think it makes a big difference in the winter because the water's cold. I don't think it just does.
It wouldn't be a great idea, wouldn't it?
No. So we'll reel this in. And we'll just put a little bit of a worm on. But maybe that little tiny bit of smell and movement might just trigger the skimmer into taking it.
It is very important to keep trying different things.
Yeah,
and
bring in the changes.
that's right.
I'm just going to feed 3 pinkies again. This Chuck. I feel there's a couple of fish there now, so that's why I'm just starting to put feed in again.
Just to keep them in a swim.
Yeah, just keep them grazing over the whole time. I'm only going to put a bit of worm, probably 10 or 15 mil long. Nick it off. And I'm just going to hook the on. So that's all I'm going to do, that's it. Tiny little piece of worm like that.
Oh, it is very small.
It's a tiny little piece of worm. I think skimmers love that. See that bit of movement that it's giving off?
That's right, yeah.
I think they just like that. It might just
work.
trigger something in, and you can try it with a pinky or you can try it by an its own. I think that the length of it vary for the fish that you're going for too. The length of the worm that you're putting on. So again, as soon as it hits the bottom, click start on the stopwatch. Set the trap. That's the way I look at it. Just setting a little trap each time. A little feeder full of groundbait. I like to tighten up very quick. Big bend in my tip just to get it all straightened out. So the last thing you want when you're looking for tiny bites is a big bow on your line. You won't see the bite.
You can miss them, no?
You won't see the bite. You're just tightening up very lightly. You won't see it.
That's right.
You're gonna have a big bend in your tip when you're tightening up, and then set it slack. Up into another roach. Stamp roach.
Another one in the net?
Yeah. Just on a single maggot. Just feeding groundbait. Compressing in the feeder very lightly. Try and make a bit more of a cloud. Seems to work. And keep coming though.
Fish on, yeah.
But squeezing it a bit lighter and just put the thing about it seems to work. We get a couple more regular bites now. Not small root. Small little roach at the moment.
Oh, she's very welcome.
Yeah, very welcome today.
So that's on a single maggot, was
Single maggot I've just gone to, yeah. Feeding no ground, or feeding no bait in the ground bait. And just compressing it in very lightly. Making a bit more of a cloud.
Right, lads, so that's it for today.
Real hard days fishing. Caught a few skimmers, a few nice roach, couple little perch. That's about it. It's really hard days. Nothing you can do in the winter time like this. When there's frost and snow, whatever. So
And the weather change and
the weather changes, but it's been a nice day out. I caught a few, so
got a few
I'm
fish,
happy
yeah.
out.
Right guys, that's us. Charlie, thank you very much for coming anyway.
Thanks for
I know it
inviting
was,
me along.
very hard day fishing,
hard day today, yeah.
but we got a few fish anyway.
Yeah, we had a few. It's tricky. I ended up just fishing long and sitting out and waiting and just big baits trying to catch what I can, but it wasn't to be today.
It's just
Sure.
weather changes.
Yeah,
as we
weather
mentioned
change.
before, that frost.
Yeah, easterly wind.
That's another thing. Yeah,
it doesn't
that's
help.
another thing.
So
No.
it's been a good day though. We've learned a bit again as usual. Every day's a learning day.
That's it. Really. Charlie, once again, thank you very
Right,
much for
thanks
coming
very much.
and sharing all your tips with us.
No bother.
That's the main thing anyway. Thank you very much,
Yeah.
guys, and I'll see you next time.